scouts, teens, and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.
What's up, everybody? Back for another episode here at Luke Fruia Motors in Brownsville, Texas on Real Sports Live. I'm Kevin Naro. Back for my first time in a while hosting this show, so it's a bittersweet feeling to come back here at Luke Fruia and get this show underway. We're starting it with Coach Johnny Garza. Coach, how's it going?
Doing well.
Good. A longtime friend here, Coach Johnny Garza. He is now the head football coach and athletic director at Brownsville, Rivera. So, Coach, congratulations on getting your first head coaching gig. I know it's been some time coming for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, Coach, we'll get started. Just how was your summer, and what was that like for you, and just any summer breaks, anything like that, or
When this job came available and the summer was coming around, and I knew that if it was an opportunity I was going to take, it was going to be quick. So that June time hit, and I got the opportunity. So really, there was no summer because I jumped right in and headed over to Rivera to start to get things rolling.
Right, absolutely, Coach. And you've spent 10 plus years, 14 years, correct?
I believe it was
San Benito?
13 years.
13 years in
Yes.
San Benito. Your resume as a defensive coordinator there and your time in San Benito, you were an alum of San Benito, So seeing that the job opened up in Rivera, what motivated you to apply for that job and kind of take that next step?
Just knowing that the community of Rivera, once and still can be and still is a very die-hard football traditional program. There are other sports that are excelling right now. And of course, our soccer team, our volleyball team, and then hearing that job opening and knowing that the leadership that they may want, I can provide and bring it to them was exciting. Rivera football has always been known as one of the powerhouses, not only in the valley, across the state, especially when I was growing up.
Yep.
And I felt like if we can bring that tradition back to these young kids, they would recognize it too.
Absolutely. When you saw the job opening, was it an automatic, hey, I'm going to apply for this, or did it take some time to maybe kind of think about it?
Yeah, when I look at jobs across the state when they open up, it's a mindset that you got to approach and you do your due diligence. And I think this point in my career, when I saw that Rivera was open, being in black, is always a good thing. So, I jumped at the opportunity and I wanted to become their leader, and I'm glad that BISD chose me, and I'm glad to be their leader now.
Absolutely. And you talk about coming out of your comfort zone, and coaches talk a lot about, getting uncomfortable or getting comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Again, obviously you were San Benito, born and raised. You went to school there. Talk about stepping out of the boat just a little bit and kind of getting accustomed to a new community and a new school for the first time in a long time.
Being in that realm and being under, of course, Dan Gomez, the standard of how an operation is supposed to be run. I was around 24/7. So coming over and kind of getting out of my shell, I knew how it should be ran, and I knew how things should be done. And I appreciate that from learning from the San Benito football program, and then taking what I learned from there and implementing here at Rivera. I knew the sports was going to be easy. I think one of the first questions that was asked to me is, how are you going to implement their indoor facility? And I was like, well, you say that, but I had one in my previous school. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So the implementation of using it for a multi-purpose has always been on my mind, and the facilities at Rivera aren't lacking. The turf field right behind my office. The facility of the weight room is right behind my office. So it was honestly a great experience crossing over. And then, honestly able to bring some of the staff members that were looking for an opportunity from San Benito to kind of, generate the excitement and generate the tradition that we wanted to achieve.
Absolutely. And now you're not only you're jumping from a DC role to now you're the head coach, and you're also the head man when it comes to athletics. How have you filled in that seat being the athletic director?
I there was some bright minds that I brought over, and there's some bright minds on staff that I'm allowing to coach. One of the things that I had to learn and implement was, now that you're involved in the whole program and, male and female sports, you can't just, hide the fact that you're involved with one unit or one position. You got to let your position coaches coach it up. You got to let your coordinators coach, and then handle the ins and outs of an entire football program or an athletic program.
Yep.
And, kind of find a way to balance the both.
Absolutely, and taking in the new football program, and what can we expect? What can fans expect from Rivera going into this year? And I know you've probably heard the word rebuild, retool, but what can these fans really expect?
I inherited a really good senior class, and I preach that any interview I do or any opportunity that I get to speak about the Rivera football program. The senior class that's there at Rivera right now is motivated. They're hungry. Uh, they got plenty of size to play this game. They're motivated to win, and I think you will see the excitement from them and from the staff on a Thursday or Friday night, and I think the community will enjoy that. I come from a program where we don't guarantee wins, but as coaches, we will provide the opportunity to be successful, and that is my job.
Absolutely, and you're a defensive guy, so we were talking off the air about some of these kids that you're really excited for. You got some linebackers, you got some guys along the D line, and just how much of that excites you to kind of see these guys and.
It's been a short implementation. We've hit the ground running pretty fast, but just seeing them grow from day one to day, we're about to scrimmage tomorrow, so we've been at it for this is the second week in our program. But just seeing that implementation in such a short span, them absorbing the information, absorbing the new techniques, and seeing that there's some growth there, and the excitement is there, and the size at Rivera has been a blessing.
Yes.
We got some kids there, and they're excited to play. It's just putting them in the right spot.
Absolutely. I'm going to go back a little bit. You had guys like Ryan Ressa, Payne Guajardo, and then Mariano Garza, still to this day, is one of the best linebackers I've ever seen. I mean, you had the privilege of coaching him all 4 years. So knowing that track record and, now that you have that opportunity to find the next Mariano Garza, Ryan Ressa, how much does that fire you up to kind of mold these kids to get them to where those guys were at in their career?
Yeah, and I have some there that are excited to play, and I know that if they listen and fall into the system that we run, I know they're going to be successful. Those are names that I had maybe 3 years. You're talking about Mariano. Under our tutelage, and getting a kid from one off season to the next, and trying to get him to play at a level where I know he's capable of.
Yep.
We have, like you took my linebacker, Nate Aguirre is one of the top linebackers in the area. Doesn't get the recognition, but the kid can play football, and I see it. It's just he's due for a breakout year, and I'm hoping I can provide that for him.
Given that you got this job in June, correct? We're in August. The season's already here. How much of a challenge has it been for you to implement the new system, and with that comes the verbiage and just you kind of showing the way you things want run? So just how big of a challenge has that been in such a short period of time?
At first when I went to this offseason, it was one of those things where how are we going to merge the two systems that they had in place and that we have now. And to this point, honestly, the kids have adapted and they have absorbed the new philosophies, new verbiage, and they're running. At this point, I think we wanted to ease them into it, and at this point now, it's like, hey, you're either going to sink or swim, and a lot of them are getting the reps. Getting that extra they got to do and asking questions to be successful.
Absolutely, and we've been talking about the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. Ivan Rodriguez, who's going to be your quarterback, that helps. Jumping in with such short time to prepare with the new system and the scheme, but having a guy like him that's kind of been through the mill and he's an experienced quarterback, that's got to help out a lot.
It is. I mean, every time I speak to Ivan, I see him repping out there with the offense. He's a very calm and collected young man. Things don't faze him, whether it's me, on his back, getting on him on a bad throw or a bad read. He's a very calm and collected individual. He's a silent leadership kind of kid. I feel like because he is a returning man getting some reps, but now he's a junior, and I that senior class above him is kind of taking that leadership role, but he gets the job done. The first day I met him, I knew that we would be at a great position at the helm because of his attitude, because of his work ethic, and it's just going to show this year.
Absolutely. What can we expect from the offense? Is the system, with what you can share, is the system going to change that much, or are you guys going to – what's the scheme look like?
It will be a little different. I honestly feel like a lot of our I guess Rivera talent is on that side of the ball right now. I'm very excited about our running backs. Gabriel Gonzalez, who's going to be a senior. Brandon Ghetto, who be playing linebacker for me and getting reps. I have a great receiver outside named Alex Garza, who's a little undersized, but sometimes those are the best because he'll fight for any ball. There'll be some speed elements where we get the ball out quick, but I'm excited about that group. It's my first time diving into both sides of the ball.
Right.
So I'm
Right. Who is going to be your OC in DC?
Defensive coordinator wise will be Raul Maraboto.
Okay.
He's coming over from San Benito. He's a Brownsville native. And then offensive coordinator is Armando Medrano, who's a receiver coach at San Benito High School.
Absolutely. So we were talking off air, and you being a lifer in San Benito, well versed in the 32 6A district, and you were there when Rivera was going 3 deep. Los Fresnos was good. Veterans. A lot of people forget that Veterans was in that 32 6A district. East, Westlaco, and we had dubbed it the meat grinder of a district. You go from that one, and then you jump into 32 5A. So you go from one really tough district to another tough district. The difference, though, is that this district now has Corpus Christi Flower Bluff, Corpus Christi Veterans, and obviously PSJ North. But just, it's pick your poison, right, at this point. And what excites you about this new district? You know what the excitement is being so long in at one school. The district, even though there's movement, it generally stays the same. Yeah. So coming over to this district and seeing these new opponents excites me. It's a new brand of football for them to witness, and it's a new brand of football for me to witness on a Thursday or Friday night. There's some key elements that I've seen before. PSJ North now. We scrimmage them at San Benito every year. It's always the best on best type of mentality. But now getting them in an actual district game where it counts a little more is going to be fun. There's plenty of talent in this district, so it's going to be every week type of district where anything can happen, and it's just a short non-district season so we can get through it hopefully healthy and then push through. Yeah, and Tom Jones is the new head coach down at Donna. You're a new head coach here at Rivera, so it's a little bit of a new look into the district. Talk about the comparison between 32 6A and 32 5A and just how tough they are, and you have already, like I said, you've already become accustomed to those. Yes. The talent level, talking about the meat grinder that was, in 32 6A, and I want to say I had the discussion with you on the sideline one time. Probably. Where I felt pregame that, we were facing Brownsville veterans and just scrimmage PSJ North, that 5A district was really pushing some talent through. Yeah. Coming from 6A for the longest time, we always felt 6A was the top of the valley, but, when the other side of the valley starts pushing on some great athletes at PSJ High, PSJ North, Memorials, I always had them. It's a mixture of good RGV talent, across every level. So Absolutely. That it's kind of opened my eyes now to see that. Yeah, it's grown. Yes, it has. It's really grown. Yeah. So scrimmage week this week, correct? Yes. Who do you guys open up? We have Mercedes tomorrow night. They're at Rivera High School. Okay. What are you guys looking forward to there? You know what? Honestly, it's just pushing the tempo. I mean, it's so short of an installment. We're trying to see if our kids are just, have their legs underneath them. It's going to be a hot afternoon. And just see if they can, play not necessarily 4 quarters because it's a scrimmage, but at least from start to end, and with energy to it, and finish some drives. It's more of a, you would say, more like a kind of a trial run to just kind of see and maybe get some butterflies out if there are any with these kids, and just kind of see where the pieces may fall and just put the pieces together. I always tell them it's a glorified practice. Yeah. It's an opposite color jersey for the first time in a few months for these kids. And then it's go out there and just execute. And honestly, your opponent is yourselves. You're going to have some kids huffing and puffing. It's the first time out there, full go. So it's exciting to see them play football, and exciting to see them play our brand of football now. Absolutely. Week 1, who do you open up with? We open up La Jolla. We're traveling to La Jolla, yes. Absolutely. So it's going to be a little bit of a road trip. Yes, right? It is. Yes, we just came from Roma last night with the volleyball team, so it's about a 2-hour truck from here out that way. Yes. But what excites you about that Week 1 matchup? You know what? It's not at home, so it will be my first road game, open up with Rivera. But it's just, I guess 2 storied programs, battling it out. Yep. First time I get to see my kids with the band and the decals on their helmets and with the run through, and just seeing their excitement. At the end of the day, what we do is all about the kids. Yep. So making great opportunities and enjoyments for them is it's what it's all about. You guys have a very good volleyball program. I know that for sure. I know Coach Guerra is up to 700 career wins. Plus. She's 700 plus. Yes. She's just a legend in Brownsville. And how's just the athletic program as a whole? I know cross country's underway, volleyball's underway. You know what? When I arrived there at Rivera High School, I got there super early, and there was one program that was getting their strength and conditioning in, and it was our volleyball girls program. Coach Guerra does a great job, and and I talk about size at Rivera, but some of the girls that she has on her volleyball team are pretty tall themselves. So I see how she can get those girls to play well. They're actually traveling right now to Austin, have a big tournament over there. Oh wow! Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, so they're on their way to play some competition. I know they've been added this past week with their sub varsities. So much luck to them. And it truly is a blessing to see these coaches there at Rivera who
who deserve the recognition, and Coach got to see it with our boys, soccer program. So it's been fun. It's been fun to meet these new coaches who have historic careers there at Rivera High School.
Absolutely, Coach. We're gonna have a little bit of fun here. So now, being that you're in Brownsville,
Yes.
Obviously, I'm from Edinburgh, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been living here in Brownsville the last 2 years. Man, the taco places. They're legit here in Brownsville.
They are.
Has Maraboto taken you out for tacos yet?
A little bit. But honestly, so fast in my work, it's been hard to get out of that office and enjoy a great lunch. I think Beagles right by the high school has been awesome.
Okay.
Yes,
cool.
And then there's another spot where we got breakfast tacos from that they're the size of the whole plate. And
wow.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
So Coach Tino, they introduced me to La Villa.
Okay.
La Villa down there by the HEB, so off of Boca. That place for me is like, man, that place is really good. Ultimo Tacos, pretty good as well. I know I ran into Coach Pardo at Mr. Taco last year.
We've gone.
Yeah, and then of course Vermilion.
Yes.
Vermilion. Yeah, I had never been there before until these last few years.
Wow.
And then my parents will come to the games, and I introduce them to Vermilion, and they're like, "Man, we love the Topiqueña place."
And it's a great pregame we would scout here in Brownsville, so it's like we got to start.
Right. So it's a good pregame. So cool. You're getting accustomed to the lunch scene here in Brownsville.
Absolutely.
Speaking of food, do you have any pregame meal, any pregame tradition that you have? Or
you know what? I think the pregame meal will be whatever our budget allows from our motivational funds. Yeah. So I haven't yet. You know what I mean? I am not very big on superstitions. I am not real big on superstitions. I feel like at the end of the day, kids got to play, we got to coach, and that kind of makes the outcome of the game.
I know I'm very superstitious. I know Coach Stoneball, game days, he has to have a number 2 Whataburger. He's got to have a number 2 on game day. I know Kaufman has to have a Dr. Pepper. So there's all these funky superstitions that coaches have.
I got to have a Red Bull every day, so maybe that's it.
Oh, well, then there it is.
Sugar-free.
There it is. Sugar-free. Yeah. I've given up on the energy drinks. I'm trying to be a little more healthier.
We have morning practices, so it's
I got you. Are you still do morning practices
We
now?
do. We have a great number coming out. We have a great number of freshmen coming out. Our freshmen do go in the PM. But it's just to beat the heat. We're blessed. We're blessed here at Rivera, so our older kids go in the morning. We're out of the field before the sun's barely coming up, and then our freshmen have the luxury of being an indoor to get a lot of their practice in with the fans going. So they're protected themselves.
Absolutely. Coach, before I let you go, any shout-outs?
You know what? It's just the shout-out will be to the kids of the city of Brownsville. Here at BASD, no matter if you play football, no matter if you want to do run track, baseball, any extracurricular, cheer, dance, choir, band, just go out and do it. I'm learning that BASD to support, all elements of their extracurriculars, and it's exciting. It's just fun for kids out there. Just go out there and participate in something and enjoy your school career.
Yep. Awesome. Coach Johnny Garza, the new head coach at Brownsville Rivera, along with also the new athletic director. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you and I go way back, and from the San Benito days, a lot of good times. I had to kind of dig back into the vault, talk about Ryan Ressa and those good years you have. So. Looking forward to seeing what you do at Rivera. We're excited for you, and good luck this year, and good luck to your kids.
Appreciate it.
Cool. We'll be back. We'll have a couple more guests here at Luke Fruia when we come back.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.
Welcome back to Luke Fruia. Joined a bonus guest here, Coach Raul Maraboto. How's it going, Coach? Coach Danny Pardo is in the on-deck circle.
Yes, sir.
Mara, you're at the plate, and I know you're excited to be back in your home city of Brownsville.
I am. I definitely am. It's a really good opportunity for me to come back and coach in this town that have come through the programs here in Brownsville and invested time into those kids, and just finding a good place, a safe environment for them to play in sports and gymnasiums and fields and things like that. And so it's been good. It's been good.
Absolutely. You spent most of your years in San Benito, most recently in San Benito. So coming back to Brownsville, what was the the conversation like when you got from Coach Garza?
No, I mean, I was super grateful for the opportunity to go to San Benito, and super grateful for Dan Gomez, Coach Gomez over there, and then getting to work under Johnny Garza. Once I got into San Benito, I was able to sit down with Coach Garza and just see the amount of football knowledge and his IQ in the game was really something that impressed me a lot.
Yep.
And so I knew, within a couple of years of just coaching with him, that if he ever got the opportunity to get a head job,
Right.
that I would, be open to the following him,
Right.
and continuing that journey, and continuing to work with him and side by side and learn and also help out, and grow just as a coach.
Absolutely. And I know Coach Tino speaks and thinks very highly of you with
Right.
your defensive mind and being around him
Yeah.
these last 4 years more. And I know that you bring a lot of energy.
Yes.
And that's what I think of you. When you're on the field, you bring
Yeah.
a lot of energy. There's a lot of tenacity there.
Sure.
That's what we can expect from your defense
Yeah.
with the Raiders.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I try and just when I speak to the kids football's a game of emotion.
Yep.
And, when we get out there and we're actually trying to get down to it and line up, at the end of the day, it's putting your hand in the ground or lining up and getting in a good stance and being more physically imposing than the guy in front of you. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
that takes a lot of emotion. To do it within the whistles and within the lines is not just to go out there in high emotion and out of control and start to swing on people and,
Right.
cost your team at the end of the day, but teaching them how to hone in all of that energy and use it towards something good and a goal, a team goal, and things
Right.
like that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
We talked about some of the pieces that you guys have defensively
Yes.
at the linebacker spot, at the
Yes.
D-line spot. How much does that excite you?
It's really exciting, honestly. Like coming in from San Benito, it was always kind of like a joke, with Coach Gomez, and we're standing at the door watching the kids come in, and we're like, "You must be this tall to play linebacker." We're like 5'5" stick or something like that. So we had some
Yeah.
good guys. We didn't have a lot of size at San Benito, but we were able to make a lot happen with them.
Right.
So coming into Rivera, it's interesting, man. We have some DNs that are 6 foot plus and
Yeah.
things like that. A linebacker that's standing, at 5'9" or whatever, and he's packing a good punch, like a 185, big old arms and stuff like that. So it's exciting that there's already pieces there. It's just we got to get them going in the right direction.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And you and Coach Garza are both in a similar spot where the challenge is having to implement so much with so little time.
Right.
As a DC, and that's got to be a new challenge for you.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, getting in there and getting hired so late at Rivera is just, I was so eager to try and get through the doors and start, implementing a system and getting a culture that kind of fits our philosophies.
Right.
And it's been such a short amount of time, so we're not that we're trying to be too vanilla with it, but we really want to implement the base before we can start taking a step into what we want to do is be multiple.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Brand new school.
Yeah.
What excites you just about in general and being in a new environment and getting to meet new people?
I mean, it's interestingly enough is Coach Willie Brown coaches defensive backs for me, and he was a coach of mine when I was here in Brownsville at Hannah High School and played.
Wow.
So getting back into a room with him and just seeing how he is as a professional is really cool. It's neat. I mean, he's been doing it for 30 plus years,
Yep.
and just kind of seeing the ins and outs of how he knows Brownsville and how the way Brownsville BISD works.
Yep.
And learning from him is pretty cool, and having him on my side of the ball and his energy that he brings at 70 years old. That guy's
Yeah.
still out there. I mean, you guys got Coach Stombaugh, and I
Yep.
love Coach Stombaugh. Being
Yep.
and visiting with you guys when I go
Yep.
to St. Joe, it's really cool having conversations with him and see how passionate he still is about the game. See the same things out of Coach Brown. And then just the other staff that stuck around and honestly has kept the whole system going. There at Rivera is pretty neat. Our principal and our administration super supportive. They just they want to be a part of the culture that we're trying to implement there, and they're really supportive of everything. So yeah, just like how you mentioned earlier in the conversation, is coming back to Brownsville is just seeing
bittersweet.
seeing people that I know and things like that from years. It is bittersweet. Yes.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, Coach, any
Yeah.
shout outs you want to give?
Coach Tino Villarreal, thank you for convincing him to get me on here. Yeah, I love talking to you too, Coach,
Yeah,
and it's
of
awesome
course.
visiting with you guys and seeing you.
course.
And good luck to you guys this season too, man.
Yeah.
I'm really
Yep.
excited for you guys. And anytime, and you know this, anytime that there's a game that doesn't match up with ours, I try and be over there at St. Joe. It's a community that has a special place in my heart and will continue to forever. And I support you guys, so
Yep,
I'm right there
yep.
with you, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do the same with you guys.
Say hi to
Rex.
Drew and Sammy and all the
will,
guys out
yeah.
there, man.
Yeah, when I got changed, they're like, "Where are you going?" I was like, I got a show. I got to go down the street to look for." Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And I go, Danny Pardo's gonna be there. I go, Johnny Garza, but they didn't tell me you were gonna be here.
No,
so,
no.
So it's
okay.
gonna be a
I'm
pleasant
glad,
surprise.
I'm glad I
when
got to stop by. This
pleasant
is cool,
surprise.
man.
Yeah, for sure,
This is
man.
cool.
Absolutely.
Good luck to you guys,
Good luck
man. Thank
to
you for having
Coach
me.
Maraboto,
Yes, sir.
Coach Johnny Garza, Coach Danny Pardo. He's gonna be coming up from Brownsville Pace when we come back on the Luke Fruia Show in Brownsville.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.
This summer, it's time for mimosas and brunch with the girls. A beachside lunch with the kiddos. Delicious Bayside burgers. And world-famous fried shrimp with a cold one. South Padre Island has your breakfast, lunch, and dinner plans covered. Book your summer getaway today. Visit sopadre.com.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.
The standard of excellence has always been Cadillac, so be iconic and drive one. Fruia Cadillac, Brownsville, Texas.
Welcome back, everybody. Back with our third and final guest of the day, Coach Danny Pardo of Brownsville Pace. Coach, how's it going?
Good, good.
It's
How
been
you
a
doing?
minute. It's good to see you.
Likewise, man.
Good to see you, man. We're just starting off a new school year. You said you guys started up on Monday. So
yeah.
what was that like first day back?
Well, it's like always, I think we gain a little bit of numbers, so,
Yep.
trying to see what we can do with what we have now.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, we had our first day Monday as well. So my parents are educators too. So it's just that time of the year where everyone's getting back to school, and I think just getting back into a routine of just getting back and seeing the kids and whatnot. But Coach, the summer workouts, how was that? What was that like for you guys? How are your numbers?
It was good. I mean, at least the kids that were expecting to be there for varsity purposes, they're all there. So we feel good about it, that the kids that should be there were there. So we, got off the off season into, to June. We only work them out in June. So,
Okay.
and when we released them late in June, early, July, I mean, they were ready to go. We came back and we do our 300 shuttle, just to see how kind of condition they come back. And
Right.
the older kids came back in great shape. So that's a plus. You know, we're looking forward to see how we do this year.
Absolutely. When you guys got them back, how's the practices have gone? I know this is the first week.
Well, you know, good. I mean, this heat is something else. I mean,
Yes.
I know for all this week, the first hour or so, it's helmet only, even though now we can put pads on. But it's been so hot that, you know, we got, you know, started a little slow.
Right.
After, you know, about 5:15, something, 5:20. Then we put pads on and we finish out the practice normal.
So no spring ball. So y'all started.
No,
this
we
week.
started. Yeah,
You
we
started
started
this week,
Yeah,
the
this
week
will be
after.
our first scrimmage
Gotcha.
coming up tomorrow.
Gotcha. How excited were the kids to just kind of get back on the field?
You know what? We started this. Well, we only worked them out in June 2 years ago. Went to a clinic in Las Vegas and we saw a gentleman from Florida, and his system is pretty close. Like I say, about 85% is the same thing we do. But one thing he did different is he works them on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays only, but he does it in July.
Okay.
You know, because 7-on-7 is so big over there. So he says, you know, coaches get a break, kids get to go to all these tournaments 7-on-7, and it doesn't interfere with their workout. So we went ahead and we tried it, and I tell you what, the older kids come a lot more relaxed and more rested. Coaches come back a lot more rested. So, you know, we kind of kept it for, this is the third year that we've done it, and man, I tell you what, it's really shown a lot of positive. You know, last year we went on a good run early on until we lost our quarterback. You know, injuries have significantly come down.
That's good.
You know, so there's a lot of pluses to it. You know, people ask me, you know, other schools here in Brownsville, hey, how do you do it? You know, we went in and learned something new from somebody, and we liked it, and we're trying it. So we'll see how. So far, so good.
Absolutely. Where are you guys at as far as your youth, or you're a veteran group, or you're a younger team?
We're in the middle. We graduate. Obviously, everybody knows we graduated our running back from last year. You know, 2,000 whatever yards. It's hard to replace. We're probably gonna go with a committee. We got 3 backs that, you know, not one has really stood out where he says this is our guy.
Right.
But I mean, I'm returning 3. You know, we started 3 sophomores on our offensive line last year, so they're coming back. The number 6 and 7 kids were in the same class. So right now it looks like we have 1 senior, our center, and then 3 juniors. But the number 6 guys is a junior, so we'd be okay. We got some young, big-sized kids. So our offensive line now is starting to look like the old pace where we had those big old kids.
Yes.
So the only thing defensively, we're not very big, so we're small. But traditionally, we've always been small.
Just rely more on speed and
Yes,
maybe athleticism.
yes.
Absolutely. And, you know, I was having a conversation with one of our athletes is that you say there's juniors and there's some sophomores, but on paper it may look like, well, they're still young, but in reality, though, a lot of those kids already have varsity experience.
I guess experience-wise, we do have quite a bit coming back. You know, we got maybe about 7 kids on defense coming back. You know, we got about maybe 8 on offense. So, but again, like I said, you know, everybody that comes and talks to me, this is, well, you don't have Adrian Salcedo anymore. Well, we don't. I mean, but still, a lot of the components are there still. You know, and like I said, they're juniors. I guess we'll be a junior-heavy team. You know, right now we got some seniors, yes, but we got the majority are going to be juniors.
Right, absolutely. So y'all's scrimmage will be next week, correct?
Or no, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow we got Edinburgh North coming to town.
Already.
So
Hit the ground running.
So we don't do spring ball. I like this 2 early weeks, you know, to get them in shape and all that. So we were, you know, fortunate enough that Edinburgh North hired Rigo Morales over there.
Bishop.
From Bishop, and he came in late in the year, so he opted not to have spring ball.
Okay.
So traditionally, Edinburgh North does spring ball every year.
Yes.
So he was calling me, hey, you know anybody? I go, well, shoot, we had Hannah. Hannah went to spring ball, so we lost them. So let's just a little hookup. I mean, you're gonna be a little big for me, but that's okay. You know, we can, you know, we'll figure out where we're at. You know, it's a good test for us. You know, major test for us. So, and he knows what we do. We know what he does because we played him in Bishop. So we got some film. He brought his 2 coordinators with him. So, it's just why look for anybody else? You know, talking to someone, just a basic call, just hey, how you doing, coach, or this and that. You need anything, whatever. You know, he says, hey, I'm looking for a scrimmage. I go, I'm so mine. Let's go. So, you know, we kind of hooked it up and let's go.
An easy connection.
Yeah.
There. What are you and your staff maybe looking forward to seeing tomorrow when you get that scrimmage?
Tomorrow we really just see how we move around as a unit, and really the question mark is like see how our backs look.
Okay.
We're looking for our backs. Defensively, our secondary, we had both safeties coming back, but one of those is going to be a running back now. So
Right.
there's some pieces that we have to see how they look as a group now.
Right.
But like when they go in interview, how we look, I go, we look good running. I mean, until we put pads on and we play somebody,
Yep.
we really know
Yep.
where we're at.
Yep.
But we're excited about it.
Yeah,
Kids
and-
are excited.
Yeah, and another thing that'll excite the kids is one thing is when they get the pads on for the first day, they get to hit somebody, and then there's another level of excitement when you get to hit someone else in a different color
Yeah,
uniform.
different
I
co-
always hear
exactly.
that from
Yeah.
these youth coaches. So,
They're tired of hitting each other.
yeah,
They want to
yeah.
hit somebody else.
yeah, exactly,
so.
exactly. Is it going to be here or going to be in Edinburgh?
It'll be at Pace High School.
It'll be at Pace High School.
Yeah.
It's my alma mater. You know that,
I
right?
know.
Edinburgh North.
Yes, I know.
2010. Yeah.
We
I
used to
was-
play him quite a bit before when
Yes,
Mario Peña
yes,
was there and all that.
yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, now we're going back, and obviously because we know Rigo,
Yeah.
Rigo's an alumni from Pace.
Yep.
He
Yep.
played for us, so
Yep. Really good in
so-
track, right? He's a real good
all
thrower.
his brothers were
Yeah.
throwers, and
Yes.
they were all football players too.
Yeah.
Except that they were all staters in track.
Right,
So
right, absolutely. Yeah, I was there when Coach Roy Garza was the head coach.
Okay.
He was our head coach and athletic director. I was in junior high when Coach Peña was there.
there you go.
Yeah, because Coach, I went to B.O. Garza Middle School. That was the feeder to Edinburgh North.
Okay.
And Coach Peña would come in to our athletic period, and man, he would run us like crazy and just kind of weed out the guys who didn't want to be there.
The
but-
last time we played him in Edinburgh North, I think it was like a 14-17 kind of game.
Yeah.
It was we played there in Edinburgh.
in Edinburgh, yeah.
And man, it was a heck of a game, man.
Yeah.
I think that was like in 2000, something like that.
Oh,
The last
wow.
time we played when he played him.
Wow, yeah. See, Coach Peña, he had this saying, and this was when I was in 8th grade, so it was 2005.
Yeah.
And Coach Peña would shout to us, "You do it right, you do it light. You do it wrong, we go long."
Yeah.
God, Coach, I'm 33. That still sticks with me in my brain. Like, golly, man. Like, his workouts
Yeah.
were intense. I mean, for 8th graders, it,
Yeah.
it was really intense. But that was certainly a good memory there. But yeah, Edinburgh North, your first scrimmage. Who do you have your second under?
We go to Raymondville.
Raymondville. Okay.
Yeah, we
Will
go over there,
Littleton.
Littleton.
Yep.
So, heard they had a good transfer in, a good running back transfer in. So we're going to go see how that is.
I know their junior high was very good. They had Lefevre, I believe he was the cousin to
Yes.
Richard and the OC Jeff. So they've always had good programs.
Yeah.
Being a small
Well,
4A
it's
and
more 4A, but I mean, tell you what, they got athletes there.
Yes.
I know last time we played,
Uh,
I was just telling that, Coach Garcia right now, man, they had two receivers that were ridiculous fast, So, hopefully we'll see how it goes,
Absolutely.
Little change, I think, from what I hear. They're going to go spread, and Will
okay.
Littleton usually is the old McCallum Memorial
Yeah,
offense,
yeah.
double tight end, two back set,
Yep.
heavy set. So we'll see. They have a big old offensive line, so.
Yeah. It's gonna be
We might
interesting.
see both ends, so
Yeah,
who knows?
you-
We'll
you
see.
just might- it'll be a good test, and another thing too is that you can just see a spread, and you can kind of
Yeah.
see some different things, some different looks.
Yeah.
That'll certainly test the kids. Who do you got week 1?
Week 1, Hidalgo comes into town.
Hidalgo.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
So
they-
Coach Jason Wheeler.
Wheeler's coming into. We
Yeah.
went to his place last year. He'll come here. He'll be at the sports park because
Okay.
obviously Sam's not be ready for
Yeah.
that. I think at least the first 4 weeks it won't be ready.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, Coach, having it at the sports park. No,
Yeah.
I mean, what's the?
I went.
What are you expecting from? I mean,
shoot,
we've seen the soccer games there.
Yeah.
But
We went Monday,
uh-huh.
and we couldn't find anybody to kind of show us. So we're gonna make an effort to go before to get all the logistics done.
Yeah.
Where the locker rooms, where to come out, hey, where to film from. I mean, that thing is gonna be tough. I don't know. There's
That's
a lot
true.
of question marks.
That's
so,
true. That's true.
Hopefully we can go, this weekend or something to see if we can get all that lined up before we get to go play there.
Absolutely, Coach. What can the fans at Pace and what can your community expect from the Vikings this season?
Well, kids are gonna play hard. It'll be similar season as this past year. We don't have, like I said, we don't have a standout running back. Last year, that was the excitement. Adrian Zansea going for so many yards and this and that, and people ask me, why are you holding back? I mean, he could have really loaded up the yards.
Yep.
But, I'm always afraid that, on a play that he shouldn't be there, some freak accident,
Yeah.
and then you lose,
Sure.
a very heavy, very talented kid, so. And remember, I don't know, some year, I think he was like a sophomore. We had our our media day at Veterans, and one of your colleagues says, who stands out? See that kid right there? Watch for him. He's going to be one heck of a player, at that time. And I tell this story to everybody. When he started running back, we're trying to teach him how to do it right and all this. We could never get him, Finally, I got tired. So, you know what? Just let him run. Quit trying to coach him. Just give him the ball, let him do what he does.
Turn him loose.
Turn him loose. Let him do. He did a lot of things that traditionally coaches don't like. Spin, stop, this, and I go just get down the hill.
Yeah.
No, so we let him alone, and you know what?
2,000 yards later.
Yeah. Now I'm telling the running back coach, maybe we missed him too much his junior year, and we should just let him run his junior year. But no, like I said, his brother was a safety, so now he's going to be a running back. He's a little smaller kid. It's not as big as Adrian is or was, but I think our fans will be satisfied. It's a lot of excitement, a lot of parent involvement now. With tradition in a pace, there was not a lot of parent involvement. There's a lot of parent involvement. The student body is really looking into it.
Right. Looking at your district, what challenges do you think it's going to be in this district this year?
A lot of us in the district lost some key players. ACOS lost a lot of the defensive people.
Yep.
Traditionally, they're always going to reload, right?
Yep.
But I think the overall, this is going to be about the same. I think that now the favorite, in my opinion, favorite will be Mercedes. They're very talented on offense. Defensively, they got quite a bit of kids coming back. So, and traditionally, they're real good teams they have there.
Yep, absolutely. Mercedes, I've known Roger a long time, so they're traditionally.
I was just telling the Rivera staff right now, look, that number one, that running back shoe, is something to look at. Man, he is the true.
Yep.
He's whatever they say about him, he meets it. He's that good.
Yep, absolutely. Coach has an athletic program. Switching gears, your volleyball team's always up there. Traditionally with what they do, I know they have a proud the Midnight Madness. I believe they're the only volleyball team still that does that.
I don't know if that is, but she brought it from where she came from Lopez. I don't know if Lopez still does it or not.
I'm not sure if they do, but I know when I hear volleyball Midnight Madness, I think Pace.
Yeah.
Did you attend or?
I attended last year because my daughter was in the team.
Okay.
And this year, my daughter just graduated this past year, so
But
I said no. I like my sleep, man. I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, I've been there maybe 2 years.
Mhm.
The first 2 years,
Yeah.
that my coach has been there. I was there
Right.
first one just to see what it was.
Right.
The second was because my daughter was there.
Mhm.
But this year, no, I stayed
Yeah.
home and slept.
You're excused
in.
to take a nap, get some sleep in. But
Yeah.
but you went out that first year, and you could see the level of excitement, right? Because Coach Tino has the Midnight Madness here, and same thing. We check in at 8, we get everything ready. The community's there, the kids are there, and that's the same thing there at Pacer. There's got to be that level of excitement,
Yeah.
especially of how good they've been
Yeah.
and how good they are.
Well, they're a little young this year. They got quite a bit of girls that they're young, but they got a good nucleus of older, experienced girls. So it's going to be exciting. I think last night they played against Nicky Rowe and then San Benito. I think that.
A tri-match.
Yeah, the tri-match. That seems to be the new thing in volleyball.
It is. It is. A couple years ago, I think Laredo United, Sherryland, and Harlingen all met in Sherryland. And I thought, okay, so it's going to be a tri-match, so they got to go 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah.
No, they went best. They went the full length.
The full length.
Yeah.
No,
the full
over
length,
here
and
I think it was 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, like a tournament.
It's just
style,
like a little
more or
tournament
less.
style.
Yeah. No, absolutely. How's your cross country team looking?
I go maybe once or 2 track meets, and they're doing okay, I guess. We're not, again, a lot of the kids. It's not for everybody, man.
Nope.
Running 7 or 8 miles a day in the morning, they're out there in the morning, early in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, they're already there.
Yeah.
At least they tell me because I'm not there that early.
No, for sure, yeah.
So they say they're out there. I get in there maybe about 7:30.
Yeah.
And the lights are on. Because they come in, it's still dark, so they turn on the lights in the football field. They run around there. So it's exciting, with them. Hopefully. They can come out and put a team together and see how you do.
And what's funny was on the lunch show, I was interviewing one of the cross country kids, and I said, it's one of those sports, and you could probably agree to this, is that it's harder than it looks.
Yes.
People say, well, it's a non-contact, and you're just running. But when you go to an actual meet and you see these kids running those long distances, it's pretty intense.
I think people have the misconception that it's just running. No,
It's
it's
not.
running a long distance very fast.
Yeah.
You know, I can probably run a mile, but I'm not going to run the mile as fast as they do. You know,
Right,
one of those
right.
things. So
Absolutely.
they think it's, oh, just run. No, it's not just
Yeah,
run. It's
yeah.
like run fast.
Yes,
know.
and see, one thing that I've learned with these kids is that they're so accustomed to the heat, the humidity. 2 years ago at the state meet in Waco, it was like a couple days before Halloween, so late October. It was wet and it was cold, and us in the valley were like, "Hey, it's 50 degrees." Like
That's freezing for us.
that's freezing for us. Yeah, we didn't expect that weather. So thankfully, the night before, the kids were able to go to the academy, get some hand warmers and
Yeah.
whatnot. But the point is, they prepped for warm weather. They ran in warm weather all year
Yeah.
long up until the state meet. So, just point being that cross
Yeah.
country is a lot
Yeah.
harder than it
Yeah,
looks.
it's
Lot
a lot harder, you know, and a lot of
Absolutely.
people don't realize that.
Absolutely.
That's what, I mean, you could not pay me enough money to run for that many miles.
I tried track in 8th grade, and a funny story was I was a real good sprinter. I was a baseball player, so I could steal bases, so I felt I could do the 100, the 200 really well. And coach would put me in the 400. I'm like, Coach, I'm better off as a sprinter. And I never made a meet up until second to the last meet or something like that. He threw me in the 800. And I'm like, Coach, and he's like, do you want to go or not? I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do the 800. So first time it's a track meet, it's at the old PSJ Stadium, that old horseshoe
Yeah,
one.
horseshoe.
So I'm getting ready, and I line up and getting ready to run the 800. I take off running, and like not even a couple of steps in, my shoe flies off. And I'm just like running halfway through. I'm like, do I stop and get it, or I just keep going? I just keep going. So I ran the 800 with one shoe, and that was my first and last track meet I ever did. But those sports certainly take a lot of effort. But Coach, hey, I gotta ask you your Longhorns, and you know where we stand on this one.
Yeah. Well, I
You
mean,
gotta be excited. You
I-
gotta be
it-
excited.
I tell you what, I'm not your true-blooded Longhorn guy now.
That's okay.
I
That's all
I
right.
like it. You know,
That's
I like
okay.
the team
Yeah.
because it's from Texas.
Yeah.
You know, the Aggies. You know, it's a good rivalry. It's
Yeah.
always good for the crowd. It's always
Yeah.
good for business and
Mhm.
everything. The guys done a great job of bringing in talent. You know, but your coach doesn't stay that far behind. He's brought some good people, man.
Yeah, Elko, yeah.
You know, so he'll be it'll be interesting. You
Yep.
know, when they play each
Yep.
other this year.
I know it certainly brought back the gusto this past year because
Yeah.
right away, I mean, everyone at St. Joe's UT, well, at
Yeah.
least Coach Tino, Sammy,
Yeah.
they're all, so it's like 4 against 1. So I'm always outnumbered, and actually, there's actually one coach that likes A&M, so he has my back. So it's like 4 against 2. But I know that rivalry certainly was a lot of fun.
And I tell you what,
Having
when
back.
it comes to rivalries, all this, whatever you're ranked, it goes out the window.
No, yeah.
It's a different
Yeah.
level, So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
all that stuff goes out the window. It doesn't
Yep.
matter because
Yep.
it's different. I mean, unless you play games like those, then it's like what,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and even at the high school level,
It's same thing.
same thing. You know, when Battle League Royal comes, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter who's who, where they're at. It's just gonna be a great game. It's just
Absolutely.
the kids get up for it. Coaches get up for it. Everybody, the commuters get up for it. It's like that Super Bowl for everybody.
Yep. And the Cowboys, hopefully, they can.
Well, I mean, again, I'm a Texas guy, so I guess I gotta go with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Even though
yeah.
in my house, my wife is a Texan fan, so.
Okay,
And
fair enough.
Good. As
Fair
long as you're
enough.
not, Green Bay or somewhere else,
Yeah, or
at least
Philly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Stick to Texas.
Yeah, stick to Texas. We're
That
fine.
works. That works. Certainly a good time of year, a great time of year where we're talking high school football, we're talking college football, and we're talking the NFL. So we must be in Texas.
It's a great time of the year.
Absolutely, Coach. Before I let you go, what's your game day superstition? What's your game day go to?
It's just game day to me. It's the easiest day.
Really?
Monday is the hard day because I got to make sure everything works the way the way we planned it to say.
Right.
But game day is superstitious.
No, go to co.
No, my routine is the same
no
thing.
Routine?
The only thing is that's the one day that everybody kind of stays away from me. So I like
Okay.
to be by myself a little more.
Okay. Yep.
That's about it. We get on the bus or we're traveling, whatever, or I'm in my office. The assistant coach take care of everything. I just come by myself. Usually I get up and I walk to there and everybody kind of gets quiet. Not that I'm gonna say anything. Just that's my downtime. That's the way I have to wait.
That's your
That's
way, it's
about
your
the only
routine.
thing. Yeah, that's my routine.
Okay.
And did that when I was an assistant, when I was a coordinator. So it doesn't change. It's just the only
Absolutely.
thing I do.
Absolutely, Coach. Before I let you go, any shout outs?
everybody, all football teams, shout out, good luck the rest of the, the year, and hope everybody goes through no injuries. I mean, that's always a downer when we, lose a kid out there. But other than that, hope all everybody has a great year.
Absolutely. That's Coach Danny Pardo, the head coach and athletic director down at Brownsville Pace. A special thank you to Coach Johnny Garza and Coach Raul Maraboto representing Brownsville Rivera High School. Coach Pardo, thanks for coming by, man. This was fun. It's been a minute.
Likewise.
Absolutely. Happy
it's
to be
always
back
good.
here and happy to be chatting with you, Coach. Good luck to you and Brownsville Pace and your entire athletic program.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That'll do it from this week's show here at Luke Fruia. Again, special thank you to all the coaches, and we will see you guys next week.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly.